الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين خاتم النبيين مولانا أبي القاسم محمد اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المنتجبين. أما بعد فقد قال الله سبحانه تبارك وتعالى في كتابه الكريم وقوله الحق بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم كل نفس ذائقة الموت آمنا بالله صدق الله العلي العظيم اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. My brothers, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In this second volume, Part 19, we're still at the ghusl khana. We're still looking after the importance of how to prepare the body, inshallah today. We want to see the problems or the mistakes that we commit, we try and avoid during that period. And that is not for a group of people, it is for the general public, and it is for our general public information that we should know how we are going to handle a body. And any one of us could be in that situation to handle a body. So these are things that are very important that we understand. We mentioned that looking at the private parts of a dead person, even if he is of the same sex, is haram. In order to avoid this, it is better to give ghusl under a cover. You place a cover on the body and you can give ghusl under it. And this is something recommended. But we are allowed to keep or bare the body totally, keep it naked and cover only the private parts. Right. If you remember, we had mentioned there is no jabira ghusl, means without, if like we have jabira wudu where we have plaster, we have bandages, but in ghusl of mayyat there is no jabira. You have to remove each and everything. All the tapes, all the bandages, all the plasters, we must remove. Now, when we are preparing the body, we have to remove every foreign substance that is on the body. You will see there are, especially we have bodies which are aged. And aged bodies, normally they have some oils that have applied, massage oils, olive oils, coconut oils, okay? There are some medications that they apply. So those are layers that need to be removed. Those are obstacles. The ghusl cannot be given to a dead person if those layers are there. So what you have to do, we have to remove those oils. Even if it takes us half an hour, 45 minutes, no problem. No need to rush. More important or not more important, the only important thing now is to ensure that the body is clean, that the body is clean of all these obstacles. Now the soap that we are going to use is a scentless soap, not this scented Lux, Dove, Palmolive, la. Scentless soaps or shampoos for the hair. Nowadays it's available in the market. We have scentless shampoos. We use that for the hair, and scentless soap we use for the body. The parts on the body that have oil, just for our knowledge, is behind the ears, the earlobes, the nose, the neck, the back of the neck, the hair if the oil is applied on the hair, the feet, the area between the toes, especially on the sole side, and around the thighs and the armpits. These are the most sensitive areas that we have to look for. So when we are preparing the body, as we wash it, some of us or one of us who is experienced will normally check these areas with his bare fingers, bare hands to see if the oil is there. Now you'll ask, why bare hands? Aren't we giving ghusl with bare hands? Nowadays, it is advisable not to give ghusl with bare hands. There are dead persons or dead bodies that are normally infected or have died of such diseases which are contagious. Okay? We have got AIDS patients, we have given ghusl to them. Okay? AIDS is a contagious disease. So it is better to be safe. Wear gloves and ensure that you give ghusl with gloves. It doesn't mean that it's only because of AIDS. There are so many other things and so many other diseases today that could be harmful for the person who is giving ghusl. So he has to wear gloves to protect himself. So then, when you want to check the areas which are still sticky or not, which are still oily or not, remove the gloves. One person who is experienced will check those areas, ensure that the oil or the sticky substance or the foreign material obstacle is not there. Right? When we are preparing, we have to ensure before we start ghusl, what we do, we press the stomach, especially on the left-hand side, lightly, gently. Remember again, no need to apply force on a dead body. Dead body is lifeless for me and you. We are looking at it, it's lifeless. I remind yourself and myself that the soul is still there. The soul has not moved away. And the soul is much, much more powerful with its mind. The mind of the soul is not the mind that I have. It is much more powerful mind. The senses, 5 senses in the soul, in that imaginal body, is much more. And that is right there at the body. So a little press of the body, little touch of the body brings about pain to that soul. So let us be gentle. This is as per the hadith, that the body still feels pain, but now the pain is much, much more, is heightened pain. It's not like the pain that we have here. When we touch here, we feel not so much pain. But when you touch a body, it is much, much more. It's all crushed when the soul gets out. So be gentle. So at that time, press the stomach on the left-hand side mainly. Why? So that whatever waste material is in the body will come out. Let us not be with our other brothers, our Muslim brothers, who normally are very harsh with their bodies. They make the body sit at times. They press the stomach so hard and do a lot of things to remove the waste. We are supposed to do that very gently. Press the left-hand side slowly with your palms. And also open the fist of the dead person. Open the palms, otherwise it will stiffen. Open the palms and try and press on the palms slowly so that it is straightened, okay? And this movement that you have, or this pressing on the palms, will also assist in removing the waste from the body. These are the 2 things we have to do on the body with regards to removing waste, with regards to straightening, with regards to opening the palms, opening the fist. After this is done, we have to ensure that if the body is bleeding, here I would like to take a little bit of time and make it clear. When different kinds of dead bodies come in front of us, remember one thing, that the causes of death are various across the board. However, there is one thing that is common in many of the bodies, and that is blood thinning tablets that the person has. Today, in this generation and age, anybody who has crossed 40, I wouldn't say anybody, but majority of those who have crossed 40 will start having blood thinning medicines. Blood thinning medicines to avoid heart attacks, to avoid complications with the cardiac system. We have the blood thinning medicines to avoid clots, okay? What happens, why I'm mentioning this is, that when a person dies, when the blood is thin, the chances are very high for the blood to ooze out from the ears and the nose and the mouth. So it's very, very important that we should be prepared for all this, number one. Number two, majority of the times when we get the bodies, they are from the hospitals. A person who has died in the hospital, okay, who has been sick for a very long period of time. What happens probably, there are some IVs, there are some injections, there are some cuts here and there. As soon as those things are removed, the needles or the injections or the IVs, what happens? The pressure from the body will force that blood to come out trickle by trickle, little by little. So when we remove those tapes, before ghusl, we will see the blood oozing out. Now, problem. The problem is how to stop, because we cannot have ghusl being given if an intrinsic najasat, means najisul ain, is present on the body. Whether it is stool, whether it is semen, whether it is urine, whether it is blood. These four things have to be clear. So those three things, because we have tried to remove the waste, we have tried to wash the private parts, and washing the private parts, ensure you have your gloves. We're not allowed to feel the private parts of the dead person. Although we're not looking at it, it's under the cover, we're not allowed. Okay? So when we are touching the private parts, wear the gloves, so that we don't have physical contact with the dead person's private parts. Now, the blood parts. How to stop that bleeding? The various methods. To stop the bleeding, we are allowed to put tapes after the ghusl, before kafan. But now during ghusl, how to stop that bleeding? The time has crossed. There's a lot of, things to discuss, but I think it's better we stop here. Inshallah, when we come back, we'll discuss how to stop this bleeding, because there are about 3 to 4 methods, and I wanted to discuss all of them in detail.